Huh? Hello guys, and welcome back to another redstone tutorial here, or really, technical video more than redstone tutorial today. We've got a couple kelp farms for you today, and even one that has absolutely no redstone involved. So guys, I hope you enjoy that. So the first one we're going to get started with today is just your simple farm where the kelp grows up, and then once it hits an observer, all the blocks that are at the level of the dispensers and up are actually going to break. We can demonstrate that really quickly. This farm is actually, it's pretty good, but it's kind of slow, right? So they'll all break and float up to the top. Really simple. You just need to put an observer there at the level. That's the highest level they can grow. Once the observer sees the kelp in front of it, it'll send a pulse through this block and into this redstone, which is connected to all of these dispensers here. So you just need to put a bucket of water or an empty bucket into there, and make sure that you fill up every single block inside of here with water as a source block. And then up here at the top, you can use this stair to have a source block here that will push the water, the kelp out to this end. And yeah, so there's that farm. It's super simple. And then let's skip this one for now. Then we have this one that will bone mill your kelp, and you'll be putting out quite a bit of kelp really quickly. Look at that. That is pretty darn fast. Probably the fastest kelp farm you're gonna make is this right here. Imagine if you had 10 or 12 stalks being bone milled at the same time, but it has the added downfall that you have to have bone mill to run this thing at that speed, and that's no good. But then we have the mammoth automated no redstone farm, and this is really the farm that I want to showcase in this video today. There are a lot of kelp farm options, but none of them compete to this right here. That's full. That's full. How fast are we getting kelp in here? That's pretty darn fast right there for no redstone whatsoever, guys. No redstone. And so I can show you how to build all three of these really quickly. Let's start with this one. And we're just gonna do a really small one. We're just gonna do three plants, and you can do this with any number of plants that you want to do it with. So we're just gonna start out like I did there and put in just some blocks to surround our gravel. You can use gravel or you can use sand. It doesn't really matter which one you use. And then we're just gonna fill up the sides here. We're gonna go up one level above the gravel. And then on the inside, we're gonna need. I know my my inventory is just jammed up, but we're gonna grab however many plants we have. That's how many dispensers we're gonna need. And then we're gonna come around the back here, and we're gonna place blocks in there. And then we can take our water after we put a glass block in. We need a glass block, guys. Any glass block you want, put the glass right there. You don't even really need glass, it's just so that you can see. Go ahead and put a source block in all of these, and then go ahead and bring up your sides a little more and your glass just a little bit more. And then right here we're going to need to get our water. We need 3 water buckets, and all 3 there. So if we put 1 in each, right like that, not that, right there. And then we want to get some redstone dust, guys, and put across there. And then we're going to go ahead and just bring blocks on across, just like so, bringing up your glass. And then you're going to need some more water. And then skipping the row with the dispensers, go ahead and place water just like that. And 1 more, I think. Oh, we just skipped 1, didn't we? Guys, you can actually take this up as high as you want to go with it, but the redstone gets different, so this is actually really simple. Kelp, I believe, will grow pretty high in any situation. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just do this. And what you really need is you just need it to harvest. You don't need it to grow until build limit. So we're going to put blocks here and across there like this. And I found that using a stair is the best way to do what we're fixing to do. And that's to have a source block that'll push the water. Because it seems like in the aquatic update, source blocks no longer push anymore. So we have that to deal with. Go ahead and extend a couple blocks out here. Stick you a hopper facing down or whichever direction you want. And then go ahead and just, you know, cover that around with something like that. Place that in. Now what you're going to want to do, that should have put source blocks. We got to fix that, put another block there. That ticking there should have actually put our source blocks into our farm. That's back out, that's in. And yeah, so we're set up there. We just want to remove these blocks that we placed. That's just so the water would go across. Now let's go down and check our dispensers. Yep. There should be just empty buckets in there now. Okay, so we'll need to take our kelp and place our kelp on that, and that's all you got to do, guys, except for adding a chest over here. Put a chest down, and that will be collecting your kelp as it grows. So you can make this as wide as you want to be. I would say 15 long would be my limit, that we don't run into any issues of desinking on the dispensers from the redstone. And okay, so let's build this guy right here. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go down a few blocks. Go ahead and give yourself a little bit of room to work with. So we need a sticky piston like this. And if we take that sticky piston, we put it right there. And that sticky piston on it needs an observer block facing down so that the dot is at the bottom and the face is at the top. You want to go ahead and take your block of choice, gravel or sand, place it on the face of that observer block just like so. And you go ahead and take your block of choice and you're going to surround, except for this one, you're going to now you don't need that one either. Surround this side right here, this L shape. We're going to take a dispenser and we're going to put our dispenser right there. And we need hoppers, so we're going to have a hopper here. Hopper, not those two, but that one facing that way. And then you want to go ahead and take your chest and put a double chest that way. And if you want to, how did I do that? Just put one chest? Yeah. One chest that way. Let's go ahead and say let's put a chest here, right? No. One chest is fine. One chest is fine. So we want to go ahead and take a stair block. We're going to put a stair block here. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap around the farm just like this with blocks. And you're going to come out from under, you're going to come back underneath and you're going to put a block there and a block right there. Must have started on the lower, yeah I did. And you're going to go ahead and put redstone dust. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm going to put this block here. And then these blocks will be at this level. Okay. Now that we cleared that up, I'm sorry. I was like, what am I doing wrong right now? Yeah, you can fill all this up with whatever block you want. I like to have glass. So let's put glass over here so that the chest will open. Glass there. Then we can cover all this up with water. One source block of water right here. And we're gonna need one source of water right there. And so that will end up looking just like that, like we have it right here. And I don't know, I feel the need to have glass there so that we can watch if we want to. And then you're just gonna plant your kelp. And this block here needs to be removed. And we are going to take an observer block and we're gonna butt up to the stair there and look directly down at that block and place an observer so that this arrow is pointing up like that. And then all we're gonna need to do is take some bone meal. Let's just grab some out of this dispenser right here just because it's easier. And we're going to put some bone meal, and this is where our bone meal will go in, or we can put it directly in there. It's no big deal. And then we can put a lever. Let's put a lever on the front here. And, oh yeah, we need to put a redstone down. That should get that flowing. And if we just go ahead and cover this up with blocks, just like so. There we have our farm running. Guys, hopefully that was pretty easy. And finally, we're going to make a scaled down version of this. We want to go ahead and find a place and begin to build. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And all your lines of kelp growing are going to be 7 long, and you determine how long you want to go that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just do scaled down version, and we're just going to fill in this square, or sort of square, almost square. With gravel. And I like to cover that around the edges with a nice block. So whatever block you want, just go ahead and cover it, surround it, I should say, rather, with that block, just like so. And get rid of these. And again, you don't need glass, but it's nice to be able to see out of it. So go ahead and surround that in glass as well. And I believe it is a double check. It is the on, yeah, okay. If we go ahead and on this level right here, if we go ahead and take our hoppers, let's go ahead and place that one there, and this one here. We can place chest in on the side here, and we go ahead and take our hoppers and run them all the way down just like this. And that'll save us a step later. And we're going to get a water bucket out. You're going to need an infinite source of water for this build. So we're going to start on one wall and run all the way down one wall, and then all the way down a second wall perpendicular to it. And what happened here? Skipped altogether. So we should end up with source blocks all along this. And you can go ahead and place all of your kelp in right now. Take a good measure to make sure you're not missing anything. Just like so. And then we're going to go ahead and you can run your glass all the way up. One more block. Just like so. And then we're going to run this side one more block. And then add one. And then off the one you added, you're going to go ahead and run a row down like so. Not those. Not there either. Excuse me. Going to meet back up with this wall right here. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a very visible block and something you can see well underwater, and you're going to just cover this over. All the layer above the kelp, you're going to go ahead and cover that all in like so. Every block. Very important step here. If you mess this up, the farm won't work properly. And just like I just did, you want to go ahead and cover the row of glass here at the very front. You want to go ahead and cover it with a source block at each block with water. Once this is done, we can go ahead and break out all of the planks that we just placed. Every plank. Will be easier said than done, more than likely. And then quickly check that you haven't broken any of the kelp. And guys, that's pretty much it. We can go ahead and run a row back here to keep any of the kelp from missing the hoppers. Maybe go up by 2. And that's all you need for this farm, guys. I think this is probably already will be producing here in a minute. There is a little bit of a cooldown once you first plant the kelp before it starts growing like this one is. But yeah, once that cooldown is reached, it'll start growing pretty quickly. And this is what's going off over here. Let's check how much we've gotten since 11. Have we got any over here? Nothing just yet. Let's double check it and make sure. Yep, our water is out. So like I said, there is a cooldown. It's not going to grow immediately. It takes a little bit once you get them planted for them to grow pretty quickly. I never did mention this farm, but this farm is identical to that one. It is one slice of these two farms here. And what I've done is basically showed that you could run this farm over here in a smaller version, you know, and decorated to go in your world or in the wall of your house or your base or whatever. And it's doing pretty well for one slice. So basically what you do, if you wanted it to look like this, you just the one source block, and then if you have a wall like this, so if you want a water wall, you just basically do the same thing as you place in your, right here would be, you would place in all the blocks on the layer below this one, place your water, and then break them, and they will run into the hopper. So super easy. Guys, I hope you do enjoy this farm. Don't forget that there is a cooldown once you plant it. So once it starts, you know, once it picks up growing, it'll pick up and it'll grow really quickly. And I want to note one more thing. I'm in 1.4.2 on the Bedrock, which means it's the first it's the first aquatic update on the Bedrock edition. Some of you guys may be in beta, and if you're in beta currently, I know the water is broken and things don't float. So what my suggestions would be for you is to actually build this farm still, but underneath you want to build a rail collection system first, which means you need to build that first and then place the gravel on top. And that way it'll collect your items when they sink to the bottom. So anyways, guys, this has been Ike here, bringing you ideas and tutorials to help you survive and thrive in Minecraft. And until next time, guys, happy Minecrafting.